Hey, what's up, guys? How's everybody doing today? So I just watched this little movie called Hickok, and some of you sane, rational thinkers might be thinking, what the hell is that movie? I don't know, what the fuck is it? Why haven't I heard of it? And the answer to that question is that this movie is basically like a freight train, but instead of carrying normal cargo like scissors and tampons or what have you, all the cars that this train is pulling are basically dumpsters that are industrial sized that have been set on fire with giant bags of shit. And I knew this movie was gonna be bad just based on the trailer. And some of you might be thinking, well, why would you bother watching a movie if you knew it was gonna be like shit? And the answer is because I was having a shitty day and I needed to feel better about my mediocre life accomplishments. And let me tell you, that strategy worked out swimmingly. And the movie's basically about Luke Hemsworth, who portrays Wild Bill Hickok, the legendary historical figure, and how he randomly becomes a sheriff of a town where Trace Adkins is like kind of a casino owner who's a pain in the ass, and that's basically the movie. It's just them going back and forth about dumb shit. Now, Luke Hemsworth is one of the not shitty Hemsworth brothers, and realistically, he does actually have a few moments where he actually acted like fairly well. Like, this movie actually did have like a few moments where I thought the acting was like super believable. But those moments are few and far between, and they didn't really make the movie that much better. And Trace Adkins is basically playing an old Western version of himself. So in other words, he's playing himself, except just slightly more of an asshole. Kris Kristofferson's got 5 minutes of screen time, and it really doesn't hurt, doesn't help, doesn't really do anything. He's just kind of there. And Academy Award winner Bruce Dern is in the movie, but not that you would notice. You know he's gonna do his best because he's a good actor, but he doesn't have that much screen time, nor does he have that much effect on the story, so it really doesn't matter. He did have the one line in the movie that I actually laughed at, though. And other than that, all I can say really is that the costumes weren't terrible, and there's also a few cool looking camera shots where it actually looks kind of scenic and kind of nice. But aside from all that, this movie is pretty much worthless. There is a blatant continuity error. It's not so blatantly obvious that it's just like, what the fuck, but it is noticeable to the point where if you rewind like 10 seconds, you're like, wasn't that thing on the other leg, actually? And at one point, there's a sex scene where the chick doesn't even take her top off. Like, both characters, I think, have most of their clothes on. To which I was like, that's weird, but maybe they just wanted it to be a PG-13 movie or something. But then later on in the movie, the leader-most actress does show her hot toddies later on in the movie. And the whole time I was thinking, okay, like earlier in the movie, you couldn't find some lower-level actress that's not like super prude and uptight about showing her naked body on screen? Like, really? And it's also very obvious that there was a missing interrogation scene from the movie, of which I would love to see the B-roll from that, because I'm sure it's priceless. And the opening scene of the movie looks like a Civil War reenactment that they just happened to use live ammunition for. And I don't even know why that opening scene was in the movie, because it doesn't really explain anything about Wild Bill's character, other than the fact that he's a piece of shit, which you find out anyway. And to top it all off, there's at least 2 shootouts in the movie, and they take way longer than they fucking should have. For as good of a shot as the main character and a couple of the other characters in the movie are supposed to be, they take a really long time to shoot everybody down. Because it literally takes milliseconds to draw your weapon and fire it, or at least that's what the movie would have you believe. But not when there's shootouts happening of 5 to 10 people at point blank range. For some reason, it takes at least 3 seconds apiece for anybody to fire off a round. But anyway, guys, this movie tried and failed miserably, but at least it tried. So based on that, I'm gonna give it a good whopping 1.6 out of 10. So if you're perusing through Netflix or Hulu or whatever the fuck you got and you see this movie, skip over it, save yourself an hour and a half. Your time would be better spent if you were just sitting on the toilet for an hour and a half. Not even taking a shit, just sitting there reading a book. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have you seen this giant pile of shit? Hop in the comments. Let me know what's up. Other than that, if you like this review, give me a like, subscribe, do all that other bullshit, and I will catch you guys later.